All right, welcome everybody to another episode of The Great Perspective, where we talk sports, politics, family, and everything in between. Uh, Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, help the algorithm share the content, help the channel continue to grow. And for all those that are subscribed, we want to say thank you. For all those that do view the channel, we want to say thank you. So let's get right into it, man. NBA All Star Game, NBA All Star Weekend. Let's start off with the. I didn't watch the celebrity game. Did you see the celebrity game?
Yeah. Uh, um, well, the 3-point contest, Damian Leonard ended up winning again. And after his win, him and Steph hinted at Booker and Clay joining for 2027.
Mm.
And the the dunk contest, it was all right. I wish the guys get more creative than piggybacking off of what happened before. So you got to realize when Jordan did his Rock the Baby, that was his creation. So that's what made it so eye popping. When Vince Carter took what under
Well,
the rim
actually,
and
Jordan
dunked,
didn't come up with that rock the baby, but go ahead.
I mean it was
Dr.
it
J.
was a format of Dr. J's,
Mm-hmm.
but Jordan did it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But Dr. J had the windmill, but Vince Carter created the under the goal, tomahawk dunk, and Blake Griffin took it to the next level like Jordan did, Dr. J, and Blake Griffin jumped over the Kia car and did it. You got to, even if you borrow, you still got to be something with it of your own. But this dunk contest seemed like they was just trying to mimic the ones of before.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you keep seeing the same thing year after year after year, and that's why people wanted to see the stars. Because see, back then, the stars was in the dunk contest. Now you got rookies and your startup players, but if the stars were in it, like the LeBrons, the SJS, the Giannis, you would have saw some creative shit. So I think that got to do with who's in the contest. And as far as the All-Star game itself on Sunday, what you think about the new format, US versus the world?
I like that better, man. That's they. I did watch the All Star game. It was competitive. It wasn't like playoff, but they were still competing. It just wasn't letting anybody just score. You get what I'm saying? They were
Yeah.
actually trying to win the game. You can tell they were actually trying to win. I think I like this format. They need to keep it until they come up with a better idea. But right now, they need to keep this for next year. I liked it. Actually, I thought Kawhi should have got MVP.
Yeah, but you got to win 2 games. And the
Yeah,
first
so
game he
okay.
showed out, but the second game he was quiet. They gave the MVP to Ant-Man, and
He was
you
hot.
know
He was hot.
he got hot in the last game. So what really matters is if you make it to the last game, then um that's the game you show up for. And would normally they name uh the All-Star Game MVP award the Kobe Bryant Award.
That's classic.
And but yeah, but now All-Star Weekend is over. Come Thursday, the big boys coming out to play. Now it's fighting for playoff position. Now it's time to play ball.
Hopefully they. I seen the NBA commissioner. He was addressing the load management. I hope that's over with, and they just come out and play, which they should, because the playoffs start. What's this, February? They got about what 40
2
more
months.
games.
Like, college basketball, March Madness, then you got the in between April, and then the next month is March Madness, then the end of April, the NBA playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. So they got like 2 months.
Yeah, to get it together.
So it shouldn't be any more load management. The Stars should be playing because you're fighting for those last
Especially
spots.
the teams that's in the top 5. The top 5 in the West is the Houstons, the OKC, the San Antonio, the Lakers, and who else is it? I think it was the Clippers still in it, even though they lost James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, I think the
top 5, you got the Thunders. Hold on. You got the Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets, Rockets, and Lakers in the top 5 in the West.
So you got the Clippers in Minnesota looking from the outside in.
Number 6 is Timberwolves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Minnesota and the Clippers are looking to be in the play-in.
Yeah. No. Well, hold up. Yeah. Yeah. The Lakers. They have to step it up because they rested a lot. They 33-21, so they rested a lot.
Yeah, the Lakers could have been at least 5 games better if it wasn't for all that resting.
They got to step it up because they only a game ahead of Minnesota. So Minnesota could take their spot, and then they'd be fighting in the play-in. And then if that happens, anything can happen.
Yeah. But I think
East, they're not really competitive.
Who?
The East.
I think the East is going to be more competitive this year than the West because people counted Boston out when Jason Tatum got hurt. Boston got one of the best records in the East. Yeah, you got Philly looking real good with a healthy Embiid, and you got Philly?
It's the
Boston.
Pistons. You got Pistons.
New York.
One.
Detroit.
You got Pistons number 1.
Yeah.
Boston, the New York, Cleveland, and the Raptors at number 5, and then Philly coming in at number 6.
I forgot about Cleveland, and with the addition of James Harden, with Donovan Mitchell, man, that East gonna be the first round ain't gonna be nothing, but that second round gonna be exciting.
Yeah,
that second round,
all those teams they're tight. They're like they're one game. Like Knicks are 33, 35, and 20. Cavs at 21 losses. Raptors at 23, and then 76ers at 24. So they all like 2 games. So, like you said, they have to come to play.
Yeah, and the one team that you can't count out, who probably gonna be in the play-in, but it's gonna be dangerous, is Orlando.
Mm.
Orlando, remember how they did New York last year? Took them to Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
And if Orlando come into the game healthy, but speaking on college basketball, they got a big game tonight. Duke against Syracuse. Duke ranked number 3 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Syracuse 15-11. But Duke blowing them out right now, 60-37. But I go to show you how these programs, with me and you speaking about a couple of years ago, how these programs, it don't matter who the coach is, they always there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, Coach K retired from Duke, but Duke's still at the top.
Because of the name, so they can get the recruits.
They're going to get the recruits because of the reputation of the school.
And
it's the same thing in football. The Alabamas of the world, the Michigans of the world, the Texas of the world, those schools, they might not win the national title every year, but every year they're gonna be in the conversation. The Oklahomas, and that's like my home state, South Carolina. That's what I, think that we need another athletic director, because he don't have that hunger. Like these other schools, they're not going to tolerate a lukewarm 3-4 seasons. If that was LSU, Alabama, you fired. It's championship or bust. And South Carolina has not had that mentality, and I think that's why we not won a national championship yet in college football.
That's what I'm saying. You're talking about you're talking about the football coach now.
You said football coach.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. You're saying he should have been fired.
Now I'm saying the athletic director who over all the sports in South Carolina.
Yeah.
He's the one dude that does the hiring and firing. And I'm saying South Carolina basketball coach, men's basketball coach, and their football coach should have been fired.
They had a good coach. They let him go, even though he had a good year. He got them to the tournament. They made it to the Final Four that year. He came back. They didn't do so good. But I think they let him go because he had that Lou Holtz type of, or he was just tough.
Yeah, he had that.
His approach to the game doesn't align with society views of what a coach should be and how a coach should speak to players. Like, I'm not saying he was disrespecting players, but he was more like
Bill Parcells. He was more about his business. But to piggyback off of what Shannon Sharpe said, if that may be true, winning conquers all. So he took them to that Final Four, but after that, it was 3 years of not even making a tournament. So you opened the door for them to fire you. But had you kept us winning, or at least competing, he would have still been there. Winning conquers all. But when you not winning, they look for any excuse to get rid of you.
Mm-hmm.
His voice too loud. But what I'm saying, they need to find an excuse to get rid of that football coach from South Carolina. Because as long as he's been there in these lukewarm seasons, and he had more talent on his roster than half of the ACC, SEC. There's no way.
Last year was their year, and they missed.
There's no way we should have been losing like that. And a lot of times,
not this past season. Not this past season. The 2024 season. That was their year.
And a lot of times, you see the talent in the athletes at South Carolina, but and you see the way they compete against Alabama, against Georgia. But like we almost beat Ole Miss, who was undefeated. Matter of fact, we was up 2 touchdowns at the half. You know what I'm saying? If we had the right coach, he would have brought that win home.
Mm-hmm. South Carolina, if they had the season they had in 2024, this past year, 25, if they had that same record, the same schedule, they would have made the playoffs. They would have had to make the playoffs based on the teams that got in. They would have had to make the playoffs.
And once you make the playoffs, you see what Miami did as a bottom seed, went on that big run.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina could have done the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sellers, he coming back.
He coming back?
Yeah.
Oh, he better. Because if he would have went into the league now, they would have made him play another position. They'd have had him playing tight end or something. But if he want to go in as a quarterback, he need to stay.
Yeah, he just needs to stay healthy. Hopefully we keep the receiver, and we need a new running back because the other running back, he got picked up. I forgot who picked him up, but he got drafted he got picked up as an undrafted free agent. So we need a running back. We need to fix some things on the offensive line, and we need a defensive line because we lost some defensive players to the draft.
Yeah.
Speaking of South Carolina, the girls are playing lights out as usual. The girls they're playing lights out. I think they just beat LSU Saturday on Valentine's Day.
South Carolina, Don Staley has created a culture in South Carolina. And that's what is not translating to the other sports. She has, what Coach K built in Duke, Don Staley has built in South Carolina. Over the past decade, South Carolina, if they didn't win the national championship, they was in the conversation.
They was in the Final Four.
They was in the conversation for 10 years straight. And this year ain't no different. They ranked number 3 in the country. So, and they keep losing all their players. She done had 3 number 1 picks. She done had
South Carolina women's basketball is becoming the Alabama of, you know what I'm saying, of basketball. Like, even though Alabama would lose a lot of their players to draft picks, but they just reload. And that's what South Carolina women's basketball is doing. They just reload and they be right back. So the whole coaching staff, the head coach, assistant coaches. So the whole coaching staff is good. Then they bringing in the right players. So whoever they got recruiting and looking at these players and evaluating players, they know what they're doing, and they bringing in the right players because it's like Alabama, they just reload.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying. She has built a culture, so even when she leaves, that winning culture is going to be there because she done established that. And I'm saying the football they're not doing that on that side of of athletics. They too content
the coaching
with they too content with lukewarm seasons. And that shouldn't be tolerated. I'm not saying a coach should come in and in 3 years win a national championship. No. But what I am saying is you done had a coach for over 5-10 years and he had the talent, but you don't see nothing progressing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see nothing. You don't see like, oh, South Carolina made the playoffs, so they got knocked out the second round. You don't even see anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time for a regime change, either with the director, definitely the head coach, because that can't be accepted. And for a lot of people don't know, when you're dealing with boosters, the South Carolina's in the top 10 of boosters in the nation, meaning they're gonna pay that money.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we got Rattler. That's why we were able to keep Sellers. They're gonna pay that money. So they got the money. It's just they can't.
It's coaching.
But it's not the coaching. It's the person. It's the director, because he should have been fired. That coach. He done showed you he can't. He ain't. He done showed you he ain't him. So if he done showed you that and you still ain't fired the man, then that questions your leadership.
Mm-hmm.
That questions, okay, well, we might need to get rid of both of y'all. Because if you sitting back here and allowing this, you sitting back here and allowing this, that's what the Jets did. They fired the general manager and the head coach. If you sitting back and allowing this, then that's telling me that neither one of y'all ain't no good for me. Mm-hmm. So I just think the fan base of South Carolina need that. Could you imagine South Carolina in the national championship game? The mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember, going down memory lane when the Carolina Panthers made it to the Super Bowl with Berline, and they played the Patriots. Man, I went outside. It was people in the streets. It was people. It was like Mardi Gras. And I was living in an apartment on the south side down there in Fort. Remember, I was living in Forest Cove a while back. Yeah, back then. And they was just happy because we made it to the Super Bowl.
I think I remember that.
You was in Korea,
Super Bowls, right?
Huh?
They've been to the Super Bowl 3 times, right?
No, they've been twice.
Twice.
Once with Berline and once with Cam.
Yeah.
But we almost out of time. The basketball season is amongst us. You got next month is March Madness. It's finna get real juicy. But don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that share button. But before we go, I gotta hit old boy with that politics. But on a more serious note, what do you think? Do you think the outcome of the Epstein's files ever going to get further than what it is now?
No. No. Nothing's gonna happen to these people. They put everything on one person, well, two people, Epstein and his accomplice, I forgot her name. So Elaine Maxwell, I think that's her name. So they the fall guys, those two. But we know now that the files have come out that you got powerful people in music, business, politics, uh, international, but nothing's gonna happen to them. One, they're too powerful, they're too connected, um, they're too protected. See, it's one thing to take down Diddy, and even though he's a billionaire, it's one thing to take him down. But he was an easy target, and then there's no real loss when he goes down. But the people that's implemented or could be, just because your name is in the files don't mean you did anything. But Epstein didn't do all this by himself. There were people actually doing things, the same thing that he was convicted of. He had conspirators with him. And these people are too powerful, too rich, too connected. They control too much. When you get up to that level on the pyramid, you control the other people. They control the media. They control the politicians, Democrats and Republicans, left and right. They control Hollywood. They ain't going to jail. They're not going to get indicted. Nothing's going to happen. What you see,
the reason why I asked, because the public want to know, out of justice for the victims.
When Epstein got arrested, that was injustice. That's it. Nothing's going to happen. The people are too powerful. They got too much money. They control too much. They are protected. Nothing's going to happen. Nobody's going to get indicted. Nobody's going to jail. Because if you indict one of these powerful people, they got dirt on everybody. Believe me. They got dirt on. There's nothing going to happen. Only thing that's going to happen is they'll release files. The media talk about it a little bit. Podcasts like ours talk about it a little bit. People will post things on social media like they found something, like they Sherlock Holmes and they just found something in the files. But nothing's going to happen. What we see now is all we're going to see is a bunch of talk. Ain't nobody else going to jail. The person that went to jail was Epstein. He no longer here. And then Maxwell. And if she say the right thing, she'll be out anyway.
Well, I feel my heart and my prayers go out to the victims, and this world that we live in, but even if justice is not served from our justice system, the man up above is going to have his day.
Yeah, eventually.
So they might have their fun now, but you can't trick the man that matters.
Remember,
that's my advice to the victims. Just put it in God's hand, and He ain't gonna never let you down. I promise you that.
Well, in Joel 3, he said that he's going to bring all nations to the valley of Jehoshaphat. He's going to bring judgment on all these nations. So the people, they living good now, just like in the days of Noah, the Bible said that. So they'll live good now, doing the things they want to do. Not just them, just that goes for anybody. If you living against God's word. And when he brings judgment, I advise anybody, if you want to know what God's when he came here on earth, he came here, if you read like Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, if you read Paul's writing, that's the lamb. He came to serve and help pour and all that. But if you read the Old Testament, go read Deuteronomy 7, I think it is, or Deuteronomy 11. You read Numbers and how he was. Some people say God, the way he was, just they can't believe that was God, but it was. He said, I created you. You live this way. You do what I say because I created you. But we live and serve the other God, the enemy, the devil, and the devil, he lets you do whatever you want to do. So people would rather serve him. But the Most High, he's saying that a day will come, and when he returned this time, he came the first time as a lamb. When he come the second time, he coming as the Lion of Judah. He coming for judgment. It's in the Word. And you read the Old Testament, read Numbers, the book of Numbers, or read Deuteronomy, it's like chapter 7. Read that, and you can't even believe that's God. Like, what kind of mess is this? But that you understand it. That's the God that's going to return, the God of judgment, the God that you just got to read it for yourself. But we out of time. We want to thank everybody. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, support the channel. And for all those that do support the channel, we want to say thank you.
Yeah. Peace. Till next week.